What's up guys, Kevin with Ducati Spacers here. I know it's been a long time since I shot a video or posted anything on YouTube, but it's a very exciting day today. I'm heading down to GP Motorcycles just north of San Diego to look at a Ducati Streetfighter V4 S. So you guys know that I had the Panigale V4 Speciale. I sold that thing a few months back. I was kind of done with it. It was an amazing bike, incredible on track and in the canyons, a little bit uncomfortable on the street. I was never super happy with it, even though obviously it looked amazing, obviously it rode amazing, but a little bit too compromised for me. So I think the Streetfighter V4 S is just about the perfect bike, and I'm gonna go check one out. So come along with me for the ride. We're heading down to GP right now. All right guys, here we are, GP Motorcycles down near San Diego. Lots of cool European bikes here. They got KTM, Ducati, Aprilia, basically every cool motorcycle that you could possibly desire. So let's go inside and check out the Streetfighter.
There, they've got it ready for you.
Well, here you go. Here's the Streetfighter V4 S. This one is probably mine, I believe. I don't think they have another one.
It says sold and it's right by the door, and they knew you were coming. So
Should have said sold to Kevin on there, ideally. I told them to do that, but clearly they didn't listen.
those wings go.
Yeah, I need spacers. I think they got enough KTMs. This is the next thing that's tempting me. 1290 Adventure R. Just want to go right across the freaking country, escape everything. Bye-bye COVID. Sorry, you don't get a break.
Saturdays we no break anymore.
Yeah, never a break. I'm getting a free t-shirt, very exciting. All right, we're out. It's mine. Let's start this thing up. Alright, so got the Streetfighter back home. Just a boring ride up the freeway. There was really no reason to film it. I didn't put my GoPro on or anything because there really would have been nothing exciting to show you, but I just want to talk about some of the things that I like and dislike after my first maybe 30-40 minutes with the bike. Actually, one thing that I'm pretty impressed with is the stock mirrors. I don't think they look that bad, and I also think that on the freeway, they just offer you a really, really good view. They're wide enough, they don't vibrate at all. You can see exactly what's coming up behind you. It's almost like an HD view. And the next thing that I'm actually pretty impressed by, the brake and clutch master cylinders, at least on my Panigale, they were a little mushy, honestly. Maybe it's just because this bike is brand new, maybe like the problem will rear its head later, but the brake lever on the Panigale was always a little mushy. I wasn't that happy with it, but this actually feels really firm. Even when you haven't used it in 30-40 minutes, it'll still feel firm on the first pull, which is nice. Same on the clutch lever. I know these are like notoriously a problem on these modern Ducatis. Hopefully over time it doesn't need to be bled. Hopefully it stays nice and firm and the clutch works as intended, so fingers crossed on that one. Up here, one of the first things that's going to have to go, obviously these reflectors. I sell on my website actually the V4 Evo Titanium Spacer Kit. I know, Spacer Kit, different kind of spacer kit, but basically replaces the sheet metal bracket with a couple titanium spacers machined in the USA. Really cleans up that front end look. And of course, I'll have to install some radiator guards on this thing. I don't think that it's necessarily a problem if the radiator gets dinged up a little bit, but I think it just looks like too much of a swath of radiator fins here in the front. It looks really good with like a black RNG or some kind of radiator protector on there, and it gives you a little bit of peace of mind that a big rock's not going to come up and damage a radiator fin. Coming around to the side here, I actually, obviously, I think as most people do, just freaking love these wings. I think they look really sick. Definitely give the bike a super aggressive look out of MotoGP or something. I think this is something that'd be really easy to maybe do in carbon fiber or another material, maybe even like paint match it red or something. I'm probably gonna look into some sort of custom option for that, but I really love the look of these. Another thing, I just think they killed it on the styling of this little grill vent here that sits here above the belly pan. I just think that looks super aggressive. I love the little Italian flag accent and the Streetfighter V4 logo. This exhaust, not so sure about it. The shape of this heat shield that's on the exhaust, I think works really well on the Panigale just because it perfectly matches the curvature of the fairings, whereas on here it just sort of looks like it's hanging out down there. Especially if you view it from the back here, you can just see like the big like catalytic converter chamber in there. It just looks a little bit out of place, and I think that's gonna have to go. I'm a little bit torn on exactly what I should do because I think most of the aftermarket exhausts are just too obscenely loud. They make the bike almost unenjoyable to ride. So leave a comment down below if you actually know of any exhaust for this bike that looks good, saves a lot of weight, but is not too obscenely loud. This frame sticker, kind of unfortunate. I do like that they went with the black powder coat on the frame. I think it looks a lot better than the silver frame did on the Panigale, but I'm probably still gonna have to put some kind of cover over it. Hide this ugly sticker here that's on the frame. The seat, wow. It's super cushy. I can't believe it. It's probably double the thickness of the one that was on my Panigale V4. And some kind of like really soft foam in there. So that was one of the comfiest parts of the bike. I was really impressed with the comfort of the bike in general. Like the ergonomics, the riding position, and the comfort of the seat, all fantastic. I think this will probably have to go. I might have a passenger on it from time to time, but I want to get a nice cowl to finish off the look of this rear end, get rid of those passenger pegs most likely. And we know what's going to happen back here. Futurist Moto. This big fugly fender is definitely going to get taken off and replaced with the nice integrated Futurist Moto with the integrated turn signals and everything. So that'll be one of the first things to go for sure. The Marchessini forged wheels. We all know these are amazing. They look fantastic. Haven't really changed for the probably last 2 or 3 generations of Ducati, but they still just look so good. I love that tri-spoke design. I love the machined cutouts here on the interior of the wheel. They're just such an aggressive, good-looking wheel. Definitely no complaints there. Of course, this being the S model, we've got the full electronic Öhlins suspension, front and rear. That was super nice and cushy. I had it in street mode for most of the ride home, and I was really impressed with the comfort of the suspension. The look here from the cockpit, damn, it's just so cool. Like, you're riding along, you almost don't see any bike in front of you. Like, there's no fairing in front of you. It's just kind of like you in the road as you look forward. But when you do look down, you're greeted by obviously the same beautiful color dash that's been on these Ducati models since the original Panigale V4. Pretty much all the same modes. You can refer to my video from earlier if you're confused about the modes and settings on your V4. They all still apply. You got the Öhlins steering damper. Nice whenever you get that front wheel off the ground purposely or on accident, as tends to happen on these bikes. And overall, I just think everything being blacked out here, the triple clamp blacked out, the bar blacked out, just gives this front end a super aggressive appearance. Even these reservoirs are smoked to give it kind of like that cool aftermarket appearance, even without having to change anything out to like Rizoma reservoirs or whatever. Ooh, one last detail that I really dig. These vents here, these metal vents at the front of the tank cover, I just think that gives it such a cool, aggressive look. You always catch them on a couple different angles and they just make that whole front end, like, it already looks so muscular and aggressive in this area, but I just think this gives it a whole extra pop of aggressiveness. So overall, yeah, I mean, that's kind of the things that I like. In terms of stuff that I dislike, I don't know, we went through a couple. Obviously, I need to hide those big fugly stickers that are on the frame on either side. Need to get rid of some ugly things like the reflectors on the side and just tidy up the rear end, but I mean, the bike rides incredibly well. I was actually impressed relative to the Panigale V4. The heat was not that bad. We'll have to see how that plays out because I've only ridden the bike for, 30 miles now, but hopefully as I continue to ride the bike, I find that the heat's not so bad, but I may be looking into doing a heat shield solution for this bike. So if you own one of these and you have problems with the heat, let me know down below. I'm interested to see what other owners of this bike think. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Super excited to have gotten the bike. You know, I had the Panigale V4 for all those months, and it was not necessarily my favorite bike to ride. I found myself on my 210 more often. It was a little more comfortable, a little more streetable. I think now that I've gotten rid of the Speciale and the 210, I think this is the perfect compromise between the two. I'm gonna be making a lot of cool content, maybe go on some cool canyon rides down here. You'll see me put all the mods on it that I'm gonna put on it. Obviously, we'll have to do Spacer Kit for it because that throttle is just unacceptable on a $25,000 motorcycle. So keep your eyes peeled for a lot more content coming out around this bike, and hopefully me being a little more consistent with this YouTube thing. So thanks for watching, guys. Have a good one.